A fan favorite, this episode will cover one of the devoted summoner classes in my homebrew tabletop setting, Iron Bigot, Necromancers. Necromancers demonstrate three important game mechanics that separate Iron Bigot from other modern tabletop systems like Pathfinder and Dungeons & Dragons. They're a class that functions by summoning a bunch of minions. They interact a lot with in-game resources, and the magic they use is unilaterally evil. There isn't any moral quandaries or hypotheticals or talking your way out of it. Necromancy is evil, and necromancers are evil. The primary casting stat of the necromancer is intelligence, with constitution and charisma being the second and third most important stats. Necromancers are restricted to light armor, like cloth and hide, but also have access to a number of bone-based armor options that can be heavier. They are proficient in simple weapons, as well as scythes and swords. Not that a necromancer should necessarily ever have to use a sword, since they should always be safely tucked away behind dozens of skeletons. Necromancers are an extremely resource-intense class. Undead cannot simply be summoned or dismissed out of thin air at one's convenience. The undead must be acquired manually from corpses, ritually prepared, equipped, and then accompany the necromancer as party followers and actual meat space minions. Now, there's no rule against storing, packaging, or shipping undead, but the class demands work. In a lot of ways, the necromancer plays more like a wargame faction than an RPG character. If warlocks are quality summoners, then the necromancer is definitely the quantity summoner. A low-level necromancer can have a small entourage of around 3 to 5 undead guarding them, but the upper limits of this class can produce thousands of minions. And you're gonna need a lot. Undead individually are fairly weak, but diverse and easily standardized into disposable units. That isn't to say, however, that a necromancer can't create or methodically cultivate more powerful ones at higher levels, or even dominate and take control of stronger, wild forms of undead like ghouls and vampires. The Grimoire is the necromancer's spellbook. It catalogs all the rituals and spells the necromancer can use, and unlike the warlock's grimoire, it can be copied and shared. The necromancer's grimoire starts out mostly blank. Necromancers must acquire rituals and spells, like every caster class in Iron Bigot. They do not acquire spells and rituals through leveling, but must find them in the world through adventure. If a necromancer's grimoire is destroyed, they're only marginally fucked. They can still use any copies they've stashed away, they retain any spells or rituals they've personally remembered, any magic-using mutations they've acquired are also unaffected, and quite possibly most importantly, their minions don't immediately become disloyal or turn feral, as in the case with the warlock. They simply can't make any new minions until they regain the ritual knowledge to do so. With that in mind, most of the necromancer spells are devoted to buffing, healing, dominating, and destroying the undead. But even without minions, necromancers are still capable of supporting living party members with a modest list of healing spells, ranged damage dealing spells, and a few close-quarter disengagement spells. Necromancers also have a considerable list of disease-based spells at their disposal. I will disclaimer all of this, however, by saying that nobody likes necromancers. This isn't a video game where it's balanced and you're entitled to certain basic gamer rights. No one is going to like you. This isn't demonology where there's the precious spark of beauty in creation seated in chaos. No one will shelter you. Everything in nature will be your enemy. Every god will shun you. You are the ruin of everything, and everything will be your ruin. Necromancers are only tolerated by other necromancers or equally ethically dubious characters and foul creatures. There are no good necromancers, only less evil necromancers. By all means, not a casual or non-committal class to play, but a dramatic and compelling one. Have you the RPs in your Gs to command your own private anti-hero boner brigade? As always, thanks for watching. See you next time!